I'm reading a bunch of mystery short stories this month, but I will not do any short stories by Agatha Christie. Here's why. Her lawyers don't like me. I've actually been hit by her publishers. HarperCollins Publishing, I think those are her publishers. So they hit me on YouTube. They said I was infringing their copyright by talking about Murder on the Orient Express. And they ordered YouTube to take the video down, and I was punished by YouTube for it. They took away some features, so like I couldn't live stream for 6 months, and then other stuff. YouTube has a 3 strikes you're out policy when it comes to copyright, so that was strike 1, and that's why I'm not going to read any Agatha Christie stuff on my book review channel. It should be fair game for me to talk about Agatha Christie and her novels on a book review channel, but her publishers apparently have itchy trigger fingers. They've gone after me before. I don't want them to go after me again, and I'm just not even going to give them the opportunity. So specifically, what they went after me for was a video game. I played Murder on the Orient Express, the video game, and I think it was like part 13. Yeah, it was like a 40-part walkthrough, and they hated part 13. That was the one they didn't like, and that was the one they slammed down on. So that was just weird too, because it's the video game, it's not the book. So why are the publishers going after the game? They've already signed off on the game. They signed a legal agreement saying they're okay with this video game. I don't know, maybe the lawyers were extra, anxious because the Murder on the Orient Express movie was coming out around that time, 2017. Yeah, it's also weird that they would be mad at part 13 of the walkthrough and not be mad at parts 1 through 12. 1 through 12, that's okay, that doesn't infringe their copyright. But part 13, man, that was a bad one. So, as a result, I will not be reading Agatha Christie in this month when I'm reading this mystery anthology. So her story was Hercule Poirot's The Dream. It stars Hercule Poirot, and I thought it was good. And that's about all I can say. Oh, I've got another thing I can say. So, part of the mystery involves a pair of lazy tongs, right? There's a pair of lazy tongs, which was sort of a new invention at the time the story came out. And I was just thinking to myself, what would be the modern variation of that story? And I thought, it's a selfie stick. A selfie stick is also a thing that extends your reach by several feet. And then I just started laughing because Death by Selfie Stick would be a hilarious book. I'm sorry, I would love to read that murder mystery. Maybe I'll write that as a sequel to Stay at Home Detective. I am trying to think out sequels for this book. Yeah, so maybe I'll write that someday. Let me see. The only other thing I think I can say safely is that I was able to predict the mystery solution. I was able to solve the dream. Kind of. I solved like the first third of the solution. Actually, first half, 2/3 of the solution. Wasn't able to get the last part with the lazy tongs. Did not figure that out on my own. But I figured the rest of the plot twist and the mystery solution, so it made me feel very smart. And so that's part of the reason why I like the short story so much. Unfortunately, I cannot say pretty much anything about the story besides that. I can only talk about it in very general terms because I don't want to upset Agatha Christie's lawyers. That's a shame, because some of her stuff is in the public domain now, too. I was thinking about The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, which is one of her top 3 most famous murder mysteries. I'm like, wow, I should write a video game based on that. Like, this was actually a video game before it became a book. And I also made a video game based on Pride and Prejudice. But I also kind of want to do a mystery video game based on Sherlock Holmes. I couldn't do that because Sherlock Holmes has some pretty aggressive lawyers, too. So, I'm not going to write an Agatha Christie video game. Sad, I'm not going to review any Agatha Christie. Okay. I know lots of people have asked me to do it. They want me to read her books. I know she wrote a lot of books, a lot of short stories, and they're generally pretty good. I know they're really popular. I won't read them on my channel, so my apologies to everybody. I don't want to get sued. I don't want to get kicked off of YouTube. just for reading a Hercule Poirot short story. Which is reasonable. I don't want to get punished that badly for something which is just so minor.